Senate in general is because every committee head has a person that they go to. So Student Life talks directly to Erica Green. And so there's just relationships that happen, and that's what makes that huge distinction way more. Like Erica Green comes to our meeting, so she's a part of Senate. It's like there's that relationship there. And then I also want to communicate with the students that Erica Green wants to also hear, like, you don't always have to come through Senate for me to talk to that head person. That person usually is always willing to talk to someone who's not a part of Senate because they care. And I think that's a great thing about CCU staff is that they don't need me to be the running man in between. Will I do it? Of course. Will I do it to the best of my ability? Yes. But I think the best thing to do is make sure we don't come across that all of these, we hear all of these really like almost famous CCU names, but we never know how to approach them. And I think Senate is that group that is like, do you have that problem? You and I can go together to Jim McCormick and talk about this together. It doesn't have to be where I'm speaking for that person, but we're doing it more together, and I think that ties in with relationships too.
And then Samantha, what are your overarching priorities for this upcoming year?
Priorities. I think that just like everything that we're obviously touching on, just having openness, vulnerability, the transparency with the Senate, with I think that it is kind of a major priority to make the Senate known to the student body, to know that they have that resource available, and to create those connections. I know that we just started a club for the Global Studies program, and so speaking about clubs again, but even just on the individual student side too, we don't really know where to go when we want to do something. And I think that there's so many students, and that's the coolest thing about CCU is that we're a body of students that not only are we getting academically trained, but we're allowing ourselves to be led by the Spirit and being led by God, and what our heart's being tugged towards, what kind of things we want to do on campus, what kind of things we want to do out in the community. And a lot of students don't know where to start with that process of, like how to get something approved, what kind of resources they actually have available, what kind of, even like grant money, scholarships, anything like that. I think that it would be a priority to, make Senate known really well, so that they know that not only is that one of their resources, but there's so many resources on campus for them to make a huge difference, not only here at CCU, but out in our community, and to make CCU well known and credible, and to go out and make a difference in a lot of the areas in Denver that are struggling. Whatever, each and every student has something so important on their heart and for their life, and I think that putting a high stress on allowing the students to know that there is a whole school that's going to back them up in those dreams would be a huge priority of mine. So.
Thank you. And then our next question's for all of candidates. We have a very diverse group of candidates this year from a variety of different backgrounds. Can you take a moment and highlight your qualifications from your background at CCU that would make you a good applicant for this position? Yeah. Anyone can start.
Yeah, no, I think this is obviously one of the primary distinctions between who's going to get elected is just what sort of qualities and skill sets that we bring to this position. So yeah, I've been enrolled in CCU since I was a freshman. I was an RA my sophomore year, and I served in campus ministries as an intern and leadership position. And then this past year, I had the opportunity to go do a study abroad in Oxford. And so those are some of the skills I bring. I'm also, I have history and experience in high school government as well. And so I think those are just some of the qualities I bring to this position.
Whoever wants to.
I can go next. Can I start before CCU, kind of?
You can.
Okay, so I started school at UCCS down in Colorado Springs, and I was studying pre-med there. And then just got to the end of the year and was like, this is not what God has for me, but I took a year off, and I spent it working for New Life Church down in Colorado Springs. And through that, I got to go to India. I did a lot of their, like communications. I spent 3 months in India, so I did a lot of, missions-oriented, just all of that evangelical goodness. Did it down there, and then just really felt a tug on my heart to come to CCU. And since then, have been here. I'm triple majoring in global studies, business, and political science. with a lot of emphasis on I would really like to do global human development later on. I'm working for the state senate right now. I have a lot of work history. I have a lot of organizational skills. I am very outgoing and pretty diligent. When I want to get something done, it gets done. And designing my own study abroad program to go to South Africa this summer through Professor Dura, and I just feel like I do have a lot of good connections with staff and students. Played volleyball here. I don't like resumes and whatnot, but yeah, there you go. Go ahead, whoever's next.
I can go.
Okay.
So I think the biggest and most important prereq for me is that I started Senate here as a freshman. So Senate just like took my heart, to be honest. I've been a part of student council government since I was in 6th grade. It's just kind of my niche. But I've seen what works, what leadership works, what leadership doesn't, techniques that work, realistic goals, unrealistic goals in Senate. And then our turnover rate in Senate is very low. We have the same senators going in from freshman year to senior year. And I think that's so rich and so unique about this club. And I've been on missions trips here through CCU. In any role that I'm in, whether it's something as little as a group project to a whole organized group by a school, I tend to take more of the leadership role. And I'll throw in that I am a psychology major, so I love relationships, I love talking, I love the direct communication, I love knowing what's on people's hearts. So I think just the accumulation of experience plus my heart plus what I want to do as president, I think will mix well, and I think we all have really good attributes that will shine through no matter who gets this position and whatever we do.
Well, I'll start from I started my college career back in Arizona, where I'm from. I graduated high school when I was 16, and I went straight into getting my associate's degree in business and entrepreneurship. So I have that, and I went ahead and got my certificate to be a certified ASL translator. Going on to the day one of being here at CCU before classes even started, meeting with Doc Leland and getting signed up for the debate team. So just that drive and passion, just the entrepreneur in me, I will bring to the table. And ultimately, I am a go-getter, and I love working with people and working with Senate. I joined Senate in September as soon as I heard about it, and kind of like Sierra, it just got me hooked, and I love the people in Senate, Bo and Sierra. I love working with them, and it's just a great community. And everybody in Senate has such a passion for the students, and no matter if it's facilities with Christian or a student life, and just every committee that's there, we're all there for students, and I just love working with them, and I'd love to be a part of that even more direct role, and just the passion I have for people in the community at CCU, because even though I transferred in, I've come in awe, and I do regret that I didn't start my college career here, because I definitely missed out my freshman year. But coming in as a sophomore and falling in love with just everything God's doing here, and what I've already grown being on the debate team, being in Senate, and academically just thriving, and it's just a great place, and I'd love to bring my drive and my passion, and just I want to pursue God, and I want to pursue making this community a better place.
The next question is, describe yourself in one word and how that's applicable to being student body president.
That wasn't on the paper.
I think that the one word would be approachable for me. Is that all I
Yeah.
say, or do I?
And then say how it's
expand?
applicable, yeah.
Okay, I would say approachable because I'm technically outgoing. Like, I do have a shyer side of me, but I think we all have a little bit of both, introvert, extrovert. But Senate has really brought out the extrovert part of me. So anytime, and people who know that I'm on Senate, just this past year will come up to me and be like, hey, this is what I'm thinking. How can I get this done? And that just makes me so happy to know that I can walk around campus and have someone want to approach me about something and feel comfortable doing it. And also knowing that I have the connections and the resources to get what they want done. So that just in and itself is a huge aspect that we should all have as leaders, is to be approachable. And I think that